the objective, the agenda of today's meeting is that every now and then I am asked a lot about how to use the platform or how do I use the platform. And in the first half of this session, we are going to talk about that. We are going to also then talk about what happened in the markets this week and where is the strength. What breakouts are we seeing? What sectors or industries are we seeing that are coming up? And then we are going to do a quick Q&A where we'll take questions and we talk more about any doubts that anyone has or about markets and so on. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. So the biggest perk of using WealthLab is that you can figure out the industry leaders and the stocks within them with relative ease. You can find out the right sector, the right industry, the right stock, and where the momentum is flowing. The product can be used by WealthLab can be used by day traders, swing traders, positional traders, investors, but the way everyone has to use it will be different, right? It will be not everyone will say have the same settings or will be looking for the same things. While a swing trader might be looking at breakouts, an investor might be looking at an overlooked industry, an overlooked sector where they can find value, where no one else is looking. So in today's video, we are going to talk about how a swing trader can use WealthLab. One of the many ways in which they can do it. This is the one way in which I use it. You don't have to necessarily use it or subscribe it to the way that I do, but you can take ideas from it. We'll also make content videos and such meetings on how investors, positional traders or day traders can use WealthLab. So we are on the platform already, and I hope that my screen is shared. So we'll just go to explore analytics and we'll directly straight off the bat go to the relative strength screen. So when we go to relative strength screen, we have two distributions over here, a distribution of sectors and industries and a distribution of market cap. It says RS 81 to 100. That means the top 20% of the stocks, how are they distributed across the various sectors. So the idea of doing this exercise is to see where is the strength, the leadership situated in the market right now, to get a broad idea of, okay, this sectors or this industries or these themes is what I want to look at and not the other ones. So we'll see what sectors are important right now, and we see that the top 20% of the stocks are coming from healthcare, BFSI, auto, capital goods, technology, power, chemicals, and these are the top 10 names. At the same time, we see that the market caps are focusing on mid cap and small cap, while mega and large cap are not as much focused. If I take you back to February when we were being corrected and the market was in a drawdown, if I just take you, this is a time machine tool so that you can go back in time and see what was the market like back then. If I just go to 12th Feb, you will see that because I explicitly remember this being there. 1 second. You will see that the mega and large caps, 50% of the strength was coming from mega and large caps, and mid cap and small cap barely had strength. Well, if we come back to today, you will see that mega and large caps are only 22% of the top 20%, and mid and small caps have taken over here. At the same time, the sectors are healthcare, BFSI, auto. Now we have a fair idea that mega and large caps are not to be used. Mid and small caps is where the strength is right now. At the same time, we have an idea that healthcare, BFSI, auto, capital goods, technology is where the market strength is, right? So then we will go to industries, and we know healthcare. We will see which industries within healthcare are showing strength. So these are the industry distribution, and I see pharma formulation and pharma CDMO. These two from healthcare are showing strength. So I will just click on pharma formulation. It will take me down to the stock, and I'll also add pharma CDMO to it. So pharma CDMO I will also add to it, and it will give me it has given me only one stock, that is WealthLab. From the whole, I have set the filters to 80 to 93. This is my saved basic query, and days in stage 2 to 0 to 10 for a swing trade. And I've come out with WealthLab. I'm sure there might be more names, but I think they would be outside this range. So we can just check. Yeah, so they are outside this range. So within the 0 to 10 days, that is fresh breakouts, there is only WealthLab. So I will go to WealthLab and I will see how is it looking like, how is there any strength. So you will see, okay, a breakout might happen again. There was first leg up of move, then it formed a narrow base, and another breakout might happen. So from the top industry, I got pharma formulations, I got Zimlab. Now the second one was BFSI. Now is there any BFSI industry over here? No, I cannot see any. Now in the next was auto. Now we can go to auto ancillaries. I'll just add auto ancillaries to it, and we got three more names. I got Bell Rise, and I got Rico Auto, and I got Shri Piston. So they have recently entered into stage two. The strength is relatively good. Now there is a question of, we will go to all of these stocks, but there is a question of why are we using 80 to 93 and not 90 to 100 or any other custom range. Now, if I am willing to hold for 2 to 3 weeks, which is the usual time a swing trader wants to hold a stock for, if I want to hold for 2 to 3 weeks, then I don't want a stock that is already sitting at 99 because it is in everyone's eyes. There will be too much volatility, and it will be great for an intraday trader or someone who trades for 2 to 3 days to quickly get in, get the return and quickly get out. But if I'm looking to hold for 2 to 3 weeks, I'm looking for a stock that has recently entered into stage 2. So I have used 0 to 10 to show the recently entered stocks that are entered in stage 2 and a relative strength of 80 to 93, because I want stocks that have the capacity to go to 95, to go to 96, to go to 97. So that even after 2 3 weeks, if the trend is still strong, I can keep holding it, and I can exit based on my own rules, and I don't have to take a quick exit out of the stock. So 80 to 93 is my sweet spot, which I like. And let's go to the other three stocks. So Zimlab we already saw. Let's go to Bell Rise. And you said Bell Rise is also seeing some breakout happening over here. It's sitting at a breakout zone, and I'm not even doing anything right now. I've just taken the list and I'm just exploring stocks right now. Now we'll go to the next sector. So we saw that went through healthcare, BFSI, auto. Now there are capital goods and technology. So within capital goods, I'm not seeing a lot of names over here. There is steel metal, but what I can do is I can just select capital goods over here, and I can see, okay, within capital goods, there are these two names that are coming out based on my filters. So I can explore both of them. There is Weasel and there is KRN. Now the next is technology. In industries, I see there is IT services, and I can look for other something in power, chemical, etc. But this remains my broad focus list. I can look into steel, metals, because they are also in the top 10 industries. So I can just click on metals and look at what is Ashapur is there, Rain is there, PCCL is there. I can look at them, and this becomes my broad watch list. This is a part of my daily scans. Okay, so these have come in. This is what is moving. This is where the strength is, and I'm always aware of where the market is. I don't have to go through 600, 800 charts every day, although I do that on weekends, but I don't have to go through them on a daily basis because I'm aware, okay, this is where the market strength is. This is where the money is moving, and this is where I have to put my focus. Then within those names, because I like to hold for longer, I like to have a fundamental side to it also. Not everyone, not it is not necessary to have a fundamental side, but I like it gives me more confidence. So if it is supported fundamentally, then I will want to hold it for longer. So let's just look at Axis Kids. The price to earnings is 100, and the EPS is not growing at that rate. Now I don't know much about what is happening in this. What maybe they are coming out with a new line, but this will warrant a deeper dive, and I will not straight away take a position over here. This looks decent. This looks decent. So operating profit margins are 18%. Revenue is growing by 47%. And EPS is also growing. It's the highest it has ever been in the longest time. At the same time, ROE is 21%, which is great. With all of that, we are getting a PE ratio of 25. So, and there is a high tide flag happening over here. So if it does break out, then I can have a stop loss of around 3200, or maybe the 100-day moving 150-day moving average, the yellow line, and hold the trade till it sustains itself. Or maybe I can have a 50-day moving average as my stop loss line and keep holding the trade. So I like to look at both these things. Now there is another. Now this is the setup that is coming into the picture, and the market always has a question. Every participant has a question: what is more important, the environment or the setup? What do we need to give more importance to? If there is a great setup but a bad environment, do we enter the trade? If there is a great environment but an average setup, do we enter the trade? There are a lot of people with different opinions. Again, it is trading, investing will always stay personal to everyone. I come from a place where I believe that environment is more important, because a good environment will lead to an average trade being a great trade. In 2023, 2024, when the markets were going up, even the worst of stocks were rallying, no matter where, what are their price to earnings, how are they fundamentally, if there is any institutional ownership, if FIIs, DIs are there or not there. It did not matter. But because the environment was so optimistic that everything was going up, and especially to track this environment is why we have built the market breadth tool on Wealth Lab. And I will tell you how I look at environment from this way. And this will answer a lot of questions on which phase we are in market right now. So I'll click on all market instead of NSE 500 and click on all time. So all time would be approx. We have 10 years of data at Wealth Lab. So I look at all times, and we'll quickly get an idea of how we can get an idea of the environment. Now, if you see over here in 2023, 2024, there are so many green bars at all times. Okay, you see so many green bars, and they are the average height of the red bar is about minus 510. This is the advanced decline oscillator, which means how many stocks went up and how many stocks went down, net difference. So if 200 stocks went up, 300 stocks went down, so the net difference is minus 100. So on a certain day, if it is showing 1300, that means out of the 2062 stocks that we are tracking, net 1300 stocks went up. So that is the total number that we are tracking over here. So you will see that in this time, there was an average of 600, 700 stocks that were going up, and they were densely placed. But if you look at since 2025, see, there are so many red bars, and there are huge gaps between the up moves. There are barely any up moves. While over here, if you look at 2024, there are so many green bars. And this just says that the market is not very optimistic. This is one of the many signals that we track. Now, at the same time, if you look at 52 weeks highs or lows, 52-week highs or lows during this time were so many, and there were not any red bars over here. But at the same time, when we look at 2025, 2026, you will see the reverse. There are so many red bars, but there is no height in the green bars. Now, there can be two types of environments for traders. There can be a hard penny environment, which is a tough environment, tough to make money, and there can be an easy money environment, it's easier to make money. Right. So this is definitely not a easy money environment, since we are seeing very less green bars. Right. We are seeing very less green bars. Hence, it is not a easy money environment. Uh, 1 second. Yeah. So this is another second metric that we track. Now this is the stage two stocks over time. That is the number of stocks that are in momentum, which are very important for a swing trader. This is the third metric that we track. Now, if you see that during 21, 22, 2023, 23, 24, the average was about 50-55% stocks that were in stage two for it to be an easy money environment where you buy anything or you have a higher odds of succeeding. Above 30, 35 is good. Anytime you are above 30, it becomes relatively easy. The average is 27.4. Every time we are above this average, it becomes relatively easy to trade the stocks and to get relatively higher risk to rewards. And currently, if you see, we are at 15%. Only 15% of the market is in momentum. So it makes sense. It warrants that currently we are not in an easy money environment. Of course, money can be made in any market, but it is relatively tough to make money in this market. Similarly, you can track 50-day, 100-day, and 200-day moving average. We are going to add 20 days also over here for short-term swing traders to get an idea of how the markets are flowing. Where is the moving average distribution that is currently going on right now. So you can track here and daily 4% up down, 5% up down, 10% up down over 5 days. At the same time, this is another thing that we have added, and this is a rotation signal, market rotation signal. There is a yellow line on bottom in the middle, and there is a purple line. Every time the purple line is below the yellow line, it means that we should favor large and mega caps, because the markets are risk averse, risk off sentiment. When the purple line is above the yellow line, it is a risk on sentiment, right? So this is what it shows, and how is it calculated is that it is the ratio, the purple line is the ratio of Nifty mid small 400, Nifty mid small 400 divided by Nifty 100. And the yellow line is the 200-day moving average. So this is basically Nifty 500 top 400 stocks divided by the top 100 stocks divided by the next 400 stocks. And if it is above, then it means risk is on. We should favor small and mid caps. If it is below, that means risk is off and we should favor large and mega caps. So right now risk is on, although it seems a bit extended because even in the best of markets, you will not see it being at 0.83. So although risk is on, but it is still, it appears to be extended. So we tracked four major environmental analysis tools in this. And out of the four tools, three are saying that it is not an easy money environment. And fourth is saying that the rotational ratio is saying that although small and mid caps should be favored, but they are still extended. So yeah, there might be opportunities in small and mid caps, but you have to tread carefully because it is not an easy money environment. So this is what environment is. This is what a regime is. So every 3, 4, 5 years, the regime changes. There will be, it can be lesser, it can be lesser also, 1, 2 years also. It is very cyclical. Sometimes market will reward quality, sometimes market will reward momentum, sometimes the market will reward value. And these are different environments in the market because different kind of players are more prominent. Currently, markets are in a phase where value is being, quality and value are being rewarded because you recently we saw that even market has not gone up, but private banks and a couple of good names have gone up from that space. While at the same time, a lot of news related stocks are also driving up in this markets. So, so far in this video, we have covered how to screen stocks, how I screen stocks when it comes to swing trading for 2 to 3 days. What filters do I use? And it is one of the many ways, and we'll make more videos on different kind of sets that you can make out of this. And we spoke of market breadth as to how to figure out the right environment in the market. Now, I'll be closing there and you can drop in your questions. And I'll be taking there a couple of questions already there. I'll be taking them one by one.